welcome all of you, and I just would like to give you a little insight about how time is important and what time, if you use it efficiently, can help actually into your life. So actually, just think about why is it important. So you can ask from yourself that, have you ever tried to wishing someone a happy birthday in time and you just forgot it, or made excuses for not finishing your homework by deadline when you went to the school? Oh my goodness, I just couldn't done it, or been too busy to not to reach your goals, or you just were being in an important event. And if any of the answers is yes, of course, you need to think about actually the time. I don't know how it works. So everybody definitely needs more time. So during my career, I saw and I heard plenty of things, plenty of lies concerning time. So for example, time is money. This is definitely not true, because let's think, what is money? Money can come, money can go. One day you can have maybe 1 million forints, or doesn't matter what kind of currency. Next day 2 million can gone. Next day 3 million can again come in. So it's going, coming, going, coming. However, time is not. Time is like life. These kind of minutes which is past forever. You never can a second chance to spend some time what you have already spent. So this is definitely not true. Because you are old, you have lived long. So plenty of people believe that those people who are older maybe had a bigger experience, bigger things. But if you look at, for example, like what Seneca said thousands of years ago, that the life is not short at all, but we really waste most of them. So currently also, when I was young, I didn't feel that time is important. I spent my time whatever, and I had really no strategy or thinking where to send it. Because you are busy, you are effective. Sometimes when people go into the workplace or you are teaching, you are in front of your textbook and you are busy with it. It doesn't mean that you achieve something. Sometimes we say, oh, easy to the others, easy to my friends, he has much more time than me. This is obviously not true, because everybody has the same amount of seconds, minutes, or hours. And the other issue is, I don't have time. No, this is also not true. Everybody has time. So just the question is about the priorities. So these are very typical sentences people are usually using during conversation, but it's typically these are definitely not valid. However, there are really some truths that those who are really winners in their life, doesn't matter what they are doing, they are really excellent time managers. But if you look at surroundings, your part of your life, most people are really time wasters. So sometimes you go and time just goes. Time is totally irreplaceable. This is what I just said you. If it's gone forever. And so finally you can say that time is really as important as life. You have only one chance to spend a certain amount of time with you. So let's look at actually what you can achieve, and a couple of true things about time efficiency. And one of them which made me really thinking all the time, when you can have more time. Actually, you just look at about the time you are spending, what you do, and after you look at what is the outcome of that. So for example, if you are in the laboratory, you are doing experiments, you will have some results. So you can go together, but how many activities you have in a daytime? Even look at like social media or Netflix, where you are extremely busy sometimes, but if you look at the results, it's not coming. So if you always revise what you are doing and look at what is the results can come, you can realize that approximately 20% of your activities coming 80% of your results. And if you always try to reduce it and try to elevate it, actually the success rate is really higher. So what you need if you think about time, first you need a really, really very clear vision and specific goals actually in your time. So if you look at the effective time management, always start what you want to achieve. So if you want to achieve, if you would like to develop in science, you need to spend time on it. So nothing can replace the time you are spending on your specific goals. So first, think about what is your personal goals, what do you want to achieve, what is your business things, which means like the school where you want to continue at your higher education. And never forget, and I really enjoyed the yesterday presentation of them, that you all year you are learning, and you always need time for self-development. And if you just try to think what to do, I can suggest you 3 really easy questions. What would you do if you get today $1 million? Where would you spend it? What would you do if you know that you have only 6 months back? Or what do you want to achieve if there is 0 failure rate? So where do you want to see actually yourself? The other very important things, and besides the Pareto curve, I would like to say that time is, everybody has time, but the question is about prioritizing the time. And Eisenhower was a very famous US president who actually used these 4 models, where there are always in your life, there are urgent things and important things. These are usually the crisis things. Oh, tomorrow 8 o'clock there is a math exam, I have to prepare myself, it's urgent, important because you would like to pass it. There are other things which are important that not urgent. These are which can be planned very well. And there are, of course, urgent but not really important issues. This is what you need to try to delegate. And the other is which is not important, not urgent, you need to delete from your calendar. So if you always look at this and try to revise, this can be modified. Of course, some urgent, important things cannot be changed. So if your parents coming to you that let's go to the shop and buy something and bring it back, you have no choice. Important, your parents said you have the task, you have to do that. But there are plenty of things. What if you start thinking, which is predictable, like when you will have the exam at school, when you will have a laboratory practice, when you go to language exam, you definitely can put it actually to the second part. Of course, the third part is which is urgent and not important, which you sometimes you can delegate maybe, or other persons doing. But definitely, if you look at the fourth, the black one, is actually, there are plenty of things, if you look at your activities, are really not leading you about with your priorities. So the urgent things, do it now. This is the very important message. The second one is plan it. This is what you already try to do, and this is where you can spend most of your life. You also need to think sometimes who can do it for you and try to delegate. As of course, at that age, it's very difficult, but when you grow, this will come as a very important issue. And this is just don't do it, delete it, because this is really not leading you anywhere. So always, when I start the year, for example, with my working team, we have like the so-called brainstorming meeting, when we try to make this second box as big as we can. Of course, by the end of the year, everything is going to the crisis again, because there are new things which we never expected. But next year, we always try to do it again and try to make this box as big as we can. So if you always revise your thinking, you can go much better. So how to plan? How to use the time? The first suggestion, plenty of people living in a to-do list. You have a box, you write down what you want to do, and after you try to cross what you have already done. I will tell you some examples, forget it, because it's a clear evidence that over 40% of the to-do list are not happening anytime, because you always will something which jumping to the number 1. So the number 2, which could be number 2 forever, you will never even start it. So this kind of list is not really good. So this is actually like a graveyard of the task. So these are the not urgent tasks. So try to skip of the to-do list actually in your life. There is another theory also which when I spent my time to learn time management, this pickle jar theory, that if you look at, sometimes we like to pick up small things to do because we can have a good feeling that we finish it. And if you do that, sometimes you can do plenty of unimportant things and you will have no time for doing really important things. So make the to-do list, forget it, not using it. But there is one list you have to make, and this is the not to-do list. And this should be the longest list, and especially when you grew up and you became to be scientists, you became to be like clearly active person in your life, doing sports activities, doing research, being with your family. This is the list you should have, a really, really big one, which actually not covering your priorities. And actually I was thinking, when we use calendar first, as actually in the school level where you are there. So here you measure the time in hours. And of course, which is more important, mathematics or history or physics or languages? No, all of them are important. So in the school system is not working like you go to the school and learn something on the day. It's working with a calendar, which leads you really success in primary school, secondary school, even at university level. But unfortunately, after that, we usually forgot the calendar, using a calendar, and we jump to a to-do list, which is much less effective. What is the normal time what you use? Of course, doesn't matter. Of course, it's everybody using different, but like rich people thinking about morning and afternoon, so what I do there. Above rich people, thinking about hours, like when you are at school. But if we look at about, and there are also studies showing that really the successful people count half an hour, but really very successful are looking at even minutes where they are. So you have to be aware when you spend your time, and unfortunately 70–80% of people are not aware where the times go. So if you ask somebody, your friend, what have you done or what you did 2 weeks ago on Wednesday or last week at 5 o'clock in Wednesday, some people even doesn't know how to tell it. And why is it important? Because one of the biggest reasons of failure is action without a plan. Because if you plan something, when to do, where to do, how to do, and you think about, you start your activities, you can really reduce the time what you are spending on one action. So we usually say that a goal without a strategic plan is only a vision, because it will really never happening. So what do you need to do then? So if somebody asks me, okay, I understand that the time is important, you need mechanics, which actually not else but your calendar, and this really can reduce your time effort. And there are techniques. Of course, this short time, I don't want to tell you all the techniques which have been written down in the past, but just a couple of things, like a single handling. Touch it once. This is a very famous and very effective, this TIO things that if you start doing something, you touch it once, and you minimizing procrastination because you immediately realize that I can't stand up until I finish the job. And this really avoids to need to revisit something, to remember again, to restart it. So as much as you can spend and finish it, this definitely reduces the time you are spending on it. So the other important issue is, and this is when I try to tell to my people or when I speak to my students, I always try to give also deadlines. They don't like it very much, I must say. But giving deadlines, it's really important, because there are plenty of evidences that without deadlines, the effectiveness tremendously dropping down. So this is also like one theory I would like to share with you, this so-called the Parkinson's law, that actually the time spent your task spent in the time, all time you are allocating to this. So this is a very simple thing, that your effort, and this is the allocated time and the optimal time to complete the work, but as much as you are putting in, you will spend it. So really, really people who are really effective and successful, they try to limit the time spending on things which mean, okay, I have this time, so I have to do this work. It's exactly the same if you know that you have 2 weeks until the exam. What you sometimes do, okay, I start on the last day because tomorrow I have to do the exam, and you are not making to the calendar when to do and what to do. Because if you use the calendar, you will have unbelievable amount of time to do sports activity, to enjoy friends, even to watch Netflix, if you know about how much time you would like to put on it. So increasing efficacy, of course, you can increase it. First of all, you need to decrease the distraction you have. And it was also mentioned that one of the scientists looked at that when they were walking on the street, how many distractions, electronic distraction by advertisement coming, and thousands of them distractions coming to you, which take your focus away. Multitasking also not very good if you do your brain with other things at the same time, because this can take your energy, burnout. And sometimes if you just don't want to leave the task you are doing, the perfectionism, sometimes it can be also losing time. So again, avoid distractions. This is another part when you can win more time to do what you actually need it. So multitasking, I just mentioned to you that this is really, really, if you use your brain for several activities, this can decrease your activity. However, I also were thinking, because when I moved in my career, I always got new challenges and new aims, but I didn't want to leave the others, which was, so I was thinking how to elevate the 24 hours one day to 29 hours, and I think I could manage it somehow to fold couple of times when I'm doing something together, but this is not with one thing what I am doing. So sometimes when I am traveling, I write emails on the train, or also when I, for example, doing like sports activities, I try to listen like podcast or different education, or even sometimes I make phone calls when I use my brain and I use my muscles. So if you use 2 different parts of the body, it can help you. So what is the most ideal time to sleep? If you have your watches, always 5 minutes more. So if you are in the bed, it's ringing, how many of times, okay, I stay in the bed, I again stay in the bed, and maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 occasions you are not moving and you are procrastinated, doing something which you don't like, and try to elevate the time on those, like lying in a very comfortable bed is always can't beatable, other activities. But of course, this kind of procrastination is also if you have time, when I want to do that. So if like there would be not like 8 o'clock in the school, you wouldn't get up in the morning at that time when you get up now. So you get up because you know that you have a deadline, you have actually starting time. Because if you procrastinate, after you will feel yourself guilty, oh, again today I was in the bed too long, and you start panicking, make excuses, and starting this kind of circle which take unbelievable lot of energy and actually time it. So concerning to do something, and if you really want to do something, the answer is very easy, do it. Sometimes I get from my students and also even my family members that, oh, but I am scared to do something. I am sleepy to do something today. The answer is very easy. Do it scared, do it tired. So if you have an aim and you would like to do something, the action which actually change your results. And I would like to show you, if you want to remember one slide at the end of the talk, I would suggest the following slide, which I tried to use it. It's difficult, But this is I think, which can really change your life. Everybody wants to be successful. I think that's easy to say. And always we have feelings. Every day we have feelings. As I said, I am tired, it's a feeling. I am scared, it's a feeling. I am optimistic, it's a feeling. I am pessimistic, bad mood, good mood. So these are feelings. So what is the relationship between feelings and success? And what is very clear, if you speak about successful people, that whether you are scared or you have different type of personalities, it's not affecting on it. You can be an Olympic winner, you can be a Nobel laureate, you can be anything in your life if you would like to be. However, there is one thing which are really, really fully connected it. Actually, the action. So if you would like to be in a good shape, if you go to train, either you feel that, oh, I am not trained very well, your body will develop. If you learn, your mental part will develop. So only the action, the allocated time for something is good. The other has no feelings. So the really easy method, but the most difficult one, to stop the connection between the feelings and actions. So irrespective of whether you are tired, you are scared, you are optimistic in the future, you are pessimistic, it shouldn't have any effect on your daily action. You need to plan it strategically and use it. This is the easiest to understand, but most difficult to use in your daily life. So I just would like to share you a little bit my own experience, and I tell you just very briefly that, of course, to be successful, you don't need to take it. I just would like to, which fit for me well, when I realized 3 years ago that I have new challenges, new future goals, what to do, which program I have done in my life to leave it, I decided, no, everything is important in my life. I just would like to keep all. And I think I found a way which works for me, but maybe different for everybody. But the very first issue, I put my vision, actually, in my work. I really would like to see science in medicine. And this is, of course, it's a huge vision, but this is really, really an important one. And in my life, I always tried to be a game changer. When I tried to make differences, actually, for the future. The prioritize is also important. I really love my family, and this is also, I think, for everybody, it's on the pot. Myself, I also like myself, like I think many people like, and I also would like to enjoy what I enjoy and not others. Of course, vision. I also like sports activity. I would like to keep my body fit. And of course, I also like art. So my specific goals is enjoying time with the family, to help others. And I like this sentence that I would like to die young, but as late as possible. And if you think about yesterday's presentation, this is what is my aim. So if you can fit your body healthy, after you can live long. And I also would like to have my own time. I would like to motivate you, as many as young people I can. And I was in an earlier part, in a football referee. I still enjoyed it. And as you see yesterday in the theater, I also really love art. So what I did, 1 week contained 10,080 minutes. 1 day contained 1,440 minutes. So I spared every day for 100 slots, which is 40 minutes, 24 seconds. So it means you can have 714 minutes, 24 seconds in a week. This is unbelievably a lot. Of course, I put the basics. I need to sleep, work. So I allocated the time what is important in my life. And of course, sleeping, doing sports activities, everything is like important. And as I mentioned, with the folding techniques, I have not only 7 days, but 8.5 days. Because sometimes, when I am doing sports activity, I keep meetings with my colleagues, Or when I am traveling, I am seeing emails. So I even could parallel event in it. So this is a shocking figure. Anybody watched it, that this is unbearable. It looks awful, I know, but actually may some people work. And of course, I don't say that it should be like 40 minutes, 24 seconds, everybody. Your calendar in the school is like 1 hour, mathematics. So it doesn't matter how you share, how you put this kind of numbers, but I found myself this is important. And I always make analytics because this is what I said, 700 plus 158, what I put as an additional parallel event. So I spent, my family also have slots. They don't like it. They would like to have much more time with me. But I am with my family, and I really have really beautiful and very smart 5 children, which could reach plenty of success in their life. I also meet my close relatives. Even my grandchild has slots in my life, and I am meeting there, and also with my older peoples. And some activities we're doing, not regularly every week, but for example, twice a year. Concerning myself, I have 82 for myself, and I really want to decide to go down to the pub to drink a wine, or going to theater, or seeing something. This is what really my family doesn't like very much, because they say all of my slots should go also to the family, but sometimes this is mixed, so I really like to have fun, going to theaters, going to football games. Concerning sports, I strongly believe that everyday sports is really essential in your life. So even I have 27 slots for running, and I'm running also outside. I'm running with family members. This is I always call folding. You spend time with your family and you're doing sports activities. Sometimes my co-workers. And as I said, do it. Nowadays, I am running in the morning, and I am not happy with it. I am running, but what I do, I stand up and I am do the action, and I try to cut off the feeling. So altogether, if somebody would ask me how much I run, 2,572 kilometers a year, January, February. If somebody asks, is it possible to run like among 62 marathons in a year? Of course not, if you start it in in December in the year. But if every day you just do 6 kilometers or 8 kilometers, unbelievable you can reach. So if you have these 700 slots, how many people say, I don't have time for sports, for exercises, I am too busy for that? Yes, that's true. But if you allocate the time and you keep this time, this can be successful. Concerning my vision, the translational program in Budapest, the National Academy of Sciences, the pancreatic unit, also the Academy of Europea, this is I do. And as you could see, I really like art, and I like sports activities. So for me, when I learned it, because when I was at your age, I also had absolutely not a thinking about time. And maybe this is not the time when you need to use these kind of calendars. But if you just start thinking the importance of time, I think it was really useful to listen it. So the real question is, how much do you want to find time for everything? Because I don't have time, this is definitely a lie, because you can have time for everything. The question is how much you want it. The second big issue is that how much do you accept that you need to improve? And as I said, when I was as young as you, I was one of the biggest time wasters, as I remember backwards in my life, which was maybe at that time okay, but if you would like to go up and you would like to develop, you definitely need to think about tough time. And the other issue is that how much effort are you willing to put into it? Because, of course, it's not easy. You need time, and you need to think about. Of course, this was a very short lecture to make you understood. There were one in Budapest is a much longer, 1.5 hours. So if you have 6 slots in your calendar and you would like to listen, you can get more knowledge. So the National Academy of Scientists Education would like to develop this kind of educational materials. We now developing 13 different categories: communication, difficult communication, networking, these kind of lectures. So this we also will try to bring it to your secondary school. I mean, the time, I think it's still, we don't have time, yes. Agi just saying, so if anybody has any question, I will be very happy among you to answer it. And the only message is time is one of the most important resources that you have, and time will not come back for sure. So thank you for listening to me.